Hi everybody, thanks for joining my channel. This is Living Divinity. So I did some meditating and I pulled some cards. So I just want to tell you that about when you have loss in your life. You could lose a pet, you can lose a spouse, you can lose a child, you could lose a parent, you could lose a sibling, you could lose a job. These things that come as a loss. Well, the physical things like losing a job. You just have to move forward and call it quits, I guess, and know that there's something better for you out there. So with me, I was actually living in Hawaii. I lived there for 12 years and I was married at the time. And his work brought us there. And he really took advantage and I allowed it. I knew of his previous hurts and I kept trying to help him work through it. So I can tell you that when he had the loss of his mother, it was difficult for him because where he was employed, he was told to make people believe that she was just a close family friend. So when his mother died, along the people he worked with, he had to just pretend she was a very close family member. And it's hard not to speak your truth, especially when you lose your mother. But he had other underlying situations, pains from the past that he never healed. But before his mother died, she grabbed me by my shoulders and she looked straight into my eyes. She was getting ready to have a procedure done where she had 90% blockage in one of her main veins. So, we didn't know how it was going to turn out. And it was as if she knew that she wasn't going to make it through. She grabbed my shoulders and she looked straight in my eyes and she said, "Promise me you'll always look after my son." And I said, "Oh, of course, Lucinda. I'll always try to do my best with your son." And she went and had the surgery done. And, well, during the procedure, whatever broke off and it went to her brain, and she was, I think, put into a state of a coma to help her brain heal. But when she came out, her brain, it really didn't work. She couldn't speak. One of her granddaughters brought in a computer or laptop to see if she can type something like "I love you" or something, and she just kept hitting the cue. But it was like she was at an infant state, and she pressed the keys and she would smile and laugh and giggle. But she was just not with us anymore. And she was brought home to the daughter's house, and she died shortly after. And I can tell you that I don't know how it feels to lose someone and have to pretend like they're not really your mom. But I can tell you, when my mom passed away, she was having a stroke or a heart attack. I don't really remember. I was 11, going to be 12. And my dad called me to the bedroom. Sorry. My dad called me to the bedroom and he said, "Get your mom dressed. I have to take her to the hospital." Well, I was just 11, going to be 12. And I was very upset, and well, I didn't really know even how to get her dressed, because all I could do is look at her face and her eyes rolling in the back of her head, and she's trying to tell me to help her. And Dad said, "Forget about it, find her car keys." And I couldn't do that either. And then Dad found the keys and he said, "Go open the car doors." And we had a Electra 225 4-door. And we had all the doors open. My cousin Darla was with us. And my dad carried her out to the car and laid her down in the front seat and got in the driver's seat and put her head on his lap. And we were trying to drive to the hospital, which was only, I think, about maybe 5 or 6 miles away. But it seemed like a long time and a long way. And I said, "Dad, can't we just call an ambulance?" He said, "No, we gotta just drive. It'll be too late." And, well, they took her in, and me and Darla stayed in the car, because that's what Dad said. And, well, I never saw her again, alive. And having loss and having that vision in your mind, it is traumatic, and it is probably a form of PTSD or PTSD, and you just learn to live with it. My older sisters, they always said I was spoiled, and they always said just negative things to me, and I can't help what order I was born, and they didn't have to see what I had to see. And nobody spoke of anything to me about it. I heard that my oldest brother had to go and pull the plug because my dad couldn't. And I didn't even get to go to the hospital to say goodbye to her. And, well, it really could have crushed me. It really probably crushed me. But I had to learn to live without her. I had to learn to adjust. I had to learn to get over the pain. So now where I live is where she's buried. And I get to go there, and I've been trying to go once a week. And I don't stay long. I just, try to pay honor to her. So I'm just here to tell you that loss is a part of life. And you take the good and the bad. People wouldn't believe how much bad versus good that I've taken my whole life. They look at me like I'm so happy and that I have this free life, and all of this today is only by God's grace. All of this, my whole life, God has put me through test. Grandma always said, just love. And that's what I tried to do. When you freely love someone, it's healing. It's feeling good that you're showing someone love and they're showing it back to you. Unfortunately, the truth is, I've always received crumbs from everyone. And I've always given whatever I could to try to make them happy. And now I'm just in the way about God, that I need to make God happy. God wants me to love myself more. God wants me to take care of myself more. God still wants me to give freely. God still wants me to show love. Those are the things that are most important. The physical things are not that important. Because the saying goes, once you go, you don't get to take any of it with you. But the love you get to. So, the solace or the calmness that I feel about losing my mother, it comes from, well, after she died, I continued to sleep with my dad because I was just scared. Excuse me. And one night he hugged me and he said, "Oh, don't," because my mom's doors. And he said, "Oh, Doe, I love you." And he was dreaming, but he was hugging me and talking. And it made me cry. But then before that, I woke up. I saw Mom at the foot of the bed. And it's like she didn't have any wrinkles or any stress marks on her face. And there was a blue, grayish, whitish glow around her. She was wearing like a white nightgown, but she didn't have any wings. And she looked at me and she had this little smile on her face. And her lips didn't move. But I could hear her tell me, "You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. I love you." And it's true. It's a true spiritual thing that happened to me. So moving to Hawaii, well, my husband Chris, we were at the McDonald's, and that was, Mom loved the fish sandwiches. And we were standing in line. I told Chris, "Go sit down, tell me what you want." He wanted the same thing I wanted, which was filet of fish, French fries, and a drink. So there was 2 people in front of me in the line, and it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so there was nobody else around. But the lady asked the other 2 people in front of me what their name was. But when I came up, she didn't ask me. So I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe I look like someone she knows. And when the orders were done, the 2 people in front of me, they got their food and left, and then the next order I knew was mine, but she called out Doris. She called out Doris 3 times. And when I walked up there, when she finally called the order out. I said, "That's mine." And then she had the receipt and she wrote Doris on it. Then when I got back to the table, I told Chris, I said, "Guess who's having lunch with us?" And I showed him the receipt, and it said Doris on it. Mom always wanted to go to Hawaii. Mom always wanted to do a lot of good stuff, but she was busy with so many children. So the reason why I'm telling you all of this is this spiritual journey It starts at birth. You come from the heavens and you're so innocent, and you're born, and through life you learn bad stuff. Sometimes you're lucky enough to have someone who will keep you grounded, who will teach you things. That was my grandma, my mom's mom. And I'm so grateful that God let me choose who my parents were going to be, who my grandparents would be. My grandparents had a business here in town, and they handed it down to one of my aunts and her husband, and they took the business, was there one day and gone the next. Now my Auntie Margie, she's gone, and my uncle is trying to tear down my grandfather because he doesn't want the secret to come out. It's bad people in good positions. It's falsehoods. And I will not stand by him or his daughter, who took part in that, trying to betray her own grandfather. And then Grandma's house. Everybody knows what Grandma's house is supposed to be. And her only son was never put on the will, and he gained executorship because my Annie passed it to him. And then he moved him and his family in. And all they've done was survive there. All they've done was live there, pay the taxes, the utilities. And what do they have? Unfortunately, that line is cursed, because there'll be no more. That bloodline's dead because of what my uncle has done. And my Uncle Joe, he hopes his business will thrive. And it just might. Sometimes the devil allows people to have fortune, even though they're bad, even though they're mean. The reason being is the door's wide open for them to leave. The door's wide open to make a change. The door's wide open to speak the truth. But they stay in because they're comfortable there. And when the time runs out, the door shuts. So you see, we all have to be mindful of what words come out of our mouth. We all have to be mindful that love is the most important thing. And if we can't love our siblings, if we can't love our parents, if we can't love our ancestors, well, we might as well be walking dead. We might as well curse our lineage. That's not Grandma's way. That's not Grandpa's way. Thank God that I had the grandparents that I had. I don't know if my dad's gone to heaven. I don't know. I won't know until I die, I guess. But I can't speak of my dad's side of the family. Not on good stuff. So I speak on what I know that is good. And I will continue to speak what I know is good till the day I die. So I wanted to tell you that 2 days ago I was watching The Spiritual Gangster, and he said everything that I was. He said she's probably Filipino. She's probably very creative. She's probably really in touch with the spiritual world, with the heavens, with God. And that she's probably very protected. And I responded to him. I said, I am Filipina. I am creative. I do speak of God every day in my life. My spiritual journey, I must take, even if it's alone. I don't know if I really replied all of that, but basically I said, the person you're talking about is me. And I thank God for all the angels that protect me. I could leave my house unlocked if I choose. I could leave my car unlocked if I choose. Everything that God has given me through His helpers here on earth is my blessing, and I accept the role that He wants me to play. So, tarot reading, my arts, my skills, they're all gonna come into play with me. So thank you for listening to that little bit. And let's get started with the reading. I pre-pulled some cards. So the one card is Spiritual Practitioner. Do you have a strong desire to help people on their spiritual path? Be a beacon for others by teaching spiritual truths. Your intuitive senses are strong, which helps you to be good spiritual support. Your direction and insights are valuable and make a difference in the lives of many. Affirmations: I easily and effortlessly share divine wisdom and knowledge. I am contemplative and enjoy a meditation practice on a regular basis. Sharing my experiences with others helps them on their spiritual journey. So, just so you know, this card, I didn't even read because I have to have my glasses on to read. So God's already speaking through me because of everything I just told you. So now, there's a lot of coins in this reading. So I have the 10 of coins, the 2 of coins, the 6 of swords, the King of Wands, the Empress, and the 8 of coins. So I can tell you that right now, this King of Wands, he's probably somewhat of an opportunist, and he wants this relationship with this Empress. And he's looking at the coins and looking at this, the 6 of swords, moving away from where he's at now. But he knows that if he can reignite this relationship on his best foot with the Empress, that he can build this 8 of coins with her. So then the other cards are Suffering in Silence, Solar Plexus Chakra, and Spiritual Union. And the bottom card was Triumphant Success. So you can look all those meanings up.